Well, for me, on the contrary, I watched the game. City did not play well as a team, but when you have Haaland, you have 70% chance to win a game if you don't concede. Everton opened them up, but they didn't take their chances. And of course, again, if you don't do that, that's what.
Watch Tranzeet TV right now.
Yes, Tranzeet TV results around EPL, starting with Chelsea beating Nottingham Forest 3-0 at Nottingham Forest. Ange Postecoglou predictably has been sacked, and Brighton won at home to Newcastle. Another very surprising result of the weekend. Burnley beat Leeds 2-0. Crystal Palace 3-3 against Bournemouth, and Manchester City won at home 2-0 to Everton. And Sunderland beat Wolves 2-0. Of course, Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0. Sunday, Tottenham lost at home to Aston Villa 2-1. Unai Emery and his boys are stepping up, and Liverpool lost at home to Manchester United. Ugum, let's talk a little bit about a few points on Chelsea winning 3-0 away to Nottingham Forest. In the beginning of that game, Nottingham Forest looked like the Ange ball was going to work. They put Chelsea under enormous pressure, manufactured a lot of scoring chances, but just somehow they couldn't score those goals. And if you have watched EPL long enough, you will know that they will not continue to do that all through the game. Second half, Chelsea came to life, scored their goals, and won the game. It just looked like Chelsea probably underrated Nottingham Forest in the beginning of that game. Maybe, and Maresca wasn't on the bench because of his disciplinary issue in the last game. So the second half, probably he went to the dressing room, talked to the players, and they came out, and Chelsea became a different animal, and they got that win. For me, Nottingham Forest, I knew that Ange ball will not work for them. It's a 360 degrees turnaround from what they were doing under Nuno Espirito, and Ange came to do something different. I knew it was never going to work, and if it will work, it will take a long time. I mean, losing 4 or 5 games on the bounce, it was never going to do Ange and Nottingham Forest any good. So I don't know how you saw that game. I know you watched it on Saturday before you went to play your game.
Yes. Nottingham Forest just didn't take. You're right. Morgan Gibbs White had 2 good chances to put the ball in the net. He didn't. Taiwo Awoni, you played really well. If Nottingham, fashion chances, chance against chance against chance. I was just telling myself, listen, these guys, if you don't take your chances, Chelsea are not going to be this bad all game. And true, Rhys James, who remains an incredible player, was just pulling the strings. And they opened the whole thing up in the second half, and within a few minutes, Chelsea had scored 2 goals, and that was it. That's the old lesson we learned in the EPL is do not take your chances when they come. Do not assume that chances will continue to flow your way. So that's what happened, and that's how they lost that game. And they lost the casualty in Ange, who, being stubborn, already knows the EPL.
It's a casualty. That's not a casualty. That was something that we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
For me, Chelsea, if they play the way they played the second half of that game, they're going to be a very stubborn team to beat this season. But it's just maintaining that level of consistency. And sometimes Maresca and his boys, they just go completely the other way around. Though they are missing a lot of key players due to injury, but in second half, they were too much for Nottingham Forest to handle in all ramifications. And kudos to the Chelsea team. They got their 3 points, and they are now, I think, they are 4th or 5th on the table. Newcastle lost to Brighton. Newcastle, I'm not sure they have won up to 3 games this season so far.
I don't think so. They probably won 2.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, they haven't won a lot. I think they're still healing from the loss of Alexander Isak, and what Ahmed is settling in is not easy. EPL is a tough league, so it's going to take a while for him to settle in, and then they can kick on.
Well, we have talked about Newcastle so many times. I don't think it's about the striker settling down. Newcastle, they need to develop a more robust brand of football. This physicality football, I don't think is going to work. It's good to be physical, it's good to be strong, but you need to
Mm.
develop certain disciplines and patterns of play to get things done. At this rate, players come and players go. Alexander Isak was magnificent for Newcastle, but that's not an excuse for them to fail. The striker that they have is not that bad, but that team, uh, Eddie Howe needs to step up. He needs to find a way to start getting results for Newcastle. Otherwise, his job might be on the line. Then we'll move to another game that I really want to talk about is Manchester City. They beat Everton 2-0. And I watched that game. If you hear 2-0, you would think it was a City top performance. It wasn't. They only had your freak guy, Haaland, 3 chances, he scores 2. There was one other one, he was through on goal that he didn't score. And that's the story of the game. Other than that, I didn't see much from Manchester City. Everton, on the other hand, I continue to praise David Moyes. The way Everton is playing right now is they have become a team you should not take lightly. It's just that your friend Beto, I just don't want to see that guy strike for be in the field. He just doesn't look like a player that knows what it takes to that. If you score, you win a game. He's always busy, keep defenders busy, but doesn't get the goose delivered. I don't know. What was your take about on this game?
This was
Manchester
what?
City Everton.
Yes, efficient man. Haaland is different. Manchester City are not playing anything major. You know, Beto, look at the miss that Beto had in the first half. That Ndiaye again played really well. Very wonderful player. Fashion chance after chance after chance for Beto. Beto couldn't score. And you have Haaland. Haaland from half a chance. He scores half chances. So what hope do you have? Again, City are credible, man. I don't know. What do you think about City challenging for the title? If Haaland keeps playing this way, they're going to win most games. Because once he gets 2 chances, he scores 1. So we'll see. Unless something happens to him, which is not what I'm praying for. City are quite formidable. They are actually title contenders.
Yeah, well, for me, on the contrary, I watched the game. City did not play well as a team, but when you have Haaland, you have 70% chance to win a game if you don't concede. Everton opened them up, but they didn't take their chances. And of course, again, if you don't do that, that's what happens to you. The last conversation for the day, Tottenham losing at home to Aston Villa. They scored first, started very well, but somehow that game turned on its head, and Aston Villa got another win again this season. They started very poorly in the beginning of the season, but they began to garner results little by little, and they are scoring beautiful goals. Is it Buena and Rogers scored some beautiful goals today, and is Frank discovering Tottenham as a club, or what is going on?
Frank is it. Frank is discovering Tottenham as a club. What a club! Oh my goodness! What a club with the kind of, would I call it bad luck or would I call it spirit? Or there's something wrong with that club. It's unbelievable, right? Are you going to eliminate the whole squad and replace them with new players with new mentality? I do not know, but
But but
man,
but which players? Benteke was not there 3-4 years ago. Look at
yeah.
Simmons. Simmons was a player at almost every team in Europe wanted to sign last summer.
Mm.
I still
He's
don't even understand how he ended up at Tottenham in the first place.
Kolo I mean, you look. Kolo
Yeah,
is at Tottenham.
Gilmore looked like a boy that was picked up from an academy in Nigeria to play for Tottenham on that pitch today. Richarlison, as much as he's controversial on the pitch of play, when he was at Everton, he wasn't scoring too many goals, but he was
Mm.
different. I
It's
don't really
crazy.
know what is going on. And they, like you talking about body language. I don't know if you saw Thomas Frank at the end of that game. He looked like a man that wants to throw the towel. Like he doesn't understand what's going on here.
Mm. I don't know, man.
What does Frank need to do to change this? Because Tottenham, let me look at the table in the first place. I don't even know where they are on the table. This is not looking good for Tottenham. Okay, they are sixth, 14 points. Yeah, I think they have won a few games. 7 games different. But the way the game that game turned, and it wasn't it wasn't the best of Aston Villa performances, but when it mattered
Yeah.
most, they took their chances and tried to
Mm.
stay in the game. You could see towards the end of that game, what's his name? Emery was just he didn't show any emotions.
It's a mentality. I don't know. I think it's a mentality thing. I don't know how they can solve it. Um, but the club is something else, man. It's something else. The way they scored the first goal, I was like, hey, man, Tottenham are going to dominate this and win this game. I was surprised to see what the results came to. It's
Yeah, just
unfortunate.
to end, it boils down to what people are saying is boring about Arsenal. When you score goals, you have to protect it. All these trying to entertain fans and make it look all glamorous in the eye doesn't give you 3 points. What gives you 3 points is you scoring and refuse to be scored against. That's what gives you 3 points. So, guys, I don't know. We have touched on a few games briefly. Let us know what you think in the section. Tottenham, yeah, they're not looking bad on the table, but losing that game after going ahead, we talked about Manchester City. Do you think City are going to be the top table contenders this season? Do you think they're going to be the one that is going to give Arsenal a worry in winning this league this season, or is it just they're just riding on the luck of having Eden Haaland in that team? So let us know what you think. Ugomi is always interested in having conversations with you on these games. It's been a very fantastic weekend for anybody that's an Arsenal fan. Yeah, more rivals won, but for Liverpool to lose today, I was expecting a draw somewhat because I know that United always pulls off these things out of the bag. But for them to go there and win, Arsenal are now 4 points ahead of Liverpool on the league table. That's massive and huge. And we'll see what happens. We'll move to the next one next week, this midweek. The Champions League coming. Atletico Madrid is coming to, is it at the Emirates or in Spain?
Emirates.
Wow, that's going to be another fantastic game. After that, Arsenal will be playing host, we also host Crystal Palace at the Emirates. So huge week for Arsenal as a club, and we'll see how this are going to pan out. Thank you, bro,
Yeah.
for always stopping by, and I'll see you again next
Thank you,
time.
bro.
Ciao.
Sure.